of Shantideva's guided Bodhisattva of life. And first of all, so this morning we already did the longer version of the prayers and the practice. So what we do is that we turn to the same book, the Blaze of non-dual bodhicittas. We recite from the page 3 down to page 8. As we recite this, those who were present this morning, you know how to set the proper motivation. Those of us here joining now, let us set proper motivation, which involves 3 points. One is the refuge field, number 2, bodhicitta field, number 3, the purpose of the class. Reflect on the purpose of the class. First, bodhicitta field, the refuge field, visualize all Buddhas and Bodhisattvas, particularly Buddha Shakyamuni, His Holiness the Dalai Lama, and Arya Nagarjuna, Arya Vaishapani, then Arya Maitreya, Arya Buddhisttva, Arya Tara, and so forth. Then Arya Nagarjuna, Acharya Chandrakirti, and particularly the author of this text, Bodhisattva Shantideva, and all the enlightened beings right in front of you. And how you visualize them, that is so important. That they are like your parents, and you come home demoralized from the school, being bullied by other children in school, and your parents are waiting there to give full love, affection, attention, and so forth. That's how we should be visualizing all the Buddhas and Bodhisattvas. And the bodhicitta field, you visualize the two parents from the two sides, all from the members, and all the dear sentient beings around you. And again, how you visualize them. Here, you are the mother, and all others are like children. And imagine they come home demoralized, and you are there to give full love, affection, attention, so forth, to the extent that each one of them feels themselves as so special in your eyes. And the purpose of this practice is to discover the ultimate treasure of happiness within yourself. This is like gold mixed with the soil. And as you remove the soil, the gold inside will start to glow. And as you remove the soil completely, the gold will glow blazingly. And this is the manifestation, awakening of the Buddha nature, the ultimate treasure of happiness within yourself. And keep in mind that the soil-like mental development, it is of 2 kinds, the gross and the subtle. The gross one, referred to as the afflictive obscurations, the presence of which stops you from achieving enlightenment, achieving personal nirvana, achieving freedom from samsara. And the subtle one, also referred to as the cognitive obscurations, or the obscuration of omniscience, the presence of which stops you from achieving Buddhahood. And the gross one, which is also known as the afflictive obscurations, is of 3 kinds. Afflictions, contaminated karmas, and the active seeds of the afflictions. And all these 3 boil down to self-grasping ignorance. And we may not be aware of what this self-grasping ignorance for the time being, don't worry, but we are learning the next 4 days that meant for this purpose to identify what the self-grasping ignorance is and how to get rid of the self-grasping ignorance, this one. And the cognitive obscuration, the subtle stains, they're like the smell of the garlic left after removing the garlic, after washing the garlic completely. So that smell, the presence of this obstructs you from achieving total enlightenment or total Buddhahood. So our job is to get rid of these 2 defilements. And the presence of this cognitive obscuration, the subtle one, manifests in the form of self-centered attitude. In other words, we see that there are 2 defilements, the presence of which attracts all the miseries, all the undesirable and the experiences. And they have to be got rid of. And the For self-grasp maintenance, it can be incorporated by introducing the life of the wisdom, which we are trying to do, and the self-centered attitude, which is the manifestation of the subtle stains. For that, the Bodhisattva, which cherishes which wishes to become Buddha for the benefit of all sentient beings, that Bodhisattva is the final remedy. So with this mind, you wanted with a sheer desire to cultivate these two, the remedies, the wisdom of emptiness and the Bodhisattva in yourself, in order to cleanse the two demons from the mind, self-grasping, the self-centered attitude, so that the Buddha-ness within you becomes fully manifest, so that each one of us will become like a sun to it, which has the capacity to illuminate every atom of the universe. Okay, and with this mind, imagine that you are leading this, and all the demons which means are joining you, and all the Buddhist Bodhisattvas, they are watching us with incredible compassion and love and care. Okay, page 3. And here's a great compassion. We taught them after the Dharma to discover all the very views, to yield the Dharma, I feel knowledge. And here's a great compassion. We taught them after the Dharma to discover all the very views, to yield the Dharma, I feel knowledge. And here's a great compassion. We taught them after the Dharma to discover all the very views, to yield the Dharma, I feel knowledge. And here's a great compassion. We taught them after the Dharma to discover all the very views, to yield the Dharma, I feel knowledge. In independent origination, there is no ceasing, no rising, no annihilation, no permanence, no coming, no going, no separateness, no sameness. I prostrate to the consummate Buddha, the supreme among all teachers, while on top is peace, which is freedom without restrictions. I prostrate to the mothers of the Bodhisattvas and the Buddha, who to the knowledge of all these years seek presentation of complete peace, who to the knowledge of past processes having by grace to achieve the aims of the world, and who through the possession of nations helps endurance and expound the varieties of teachings. The one who is transformed into the reliable guide, motivated vouchers and reflected sentient beings, and teaches to guard and protect them to your and restorations. The one who has eliminated the burden of conceptualizations, and is endowed with the divine bodies of the vast and profound, who eternally shadows the forever noble like grace, freedom without making restorations. I go for refuge until I enlighten to the Buddha, the Dharma, and the Sangha, by the accumulations of practices. May I become a Buddha to benefit all sentient beings. I go for refuge until I enlighten to the Buddha, the Dharma, and the Sangha, by the accumulations of practice of giving and so forth. May I become a Buddha to benefit all sentient beings. I go for refuge until I enlighten to the Buddha, the Dharma, and the Sangha, by the accumulations of practice of giving and so forth. May I become a Buddha to benefit all sentient beings. Sangye Joda Zogye Chodamda Chanchu Baglu Nani Gyatsu Chik Nagi Jinso Gebe Sonam Gil Kola Penjir Sangye Drubai Shu Sangye Joda Zogye Chodamda Chanchu Baglu Nani Gyatsu Chik Nagi Jinso Gebe Sonam Gil Sangye Joda Zogye Chodamda Chanchu Baglu Nani Gyatsu Chik Nagi Jinso Gebe Sonam Gil Kola Penjir Sangye Drubai Shu. Inspired by wisdom and compassion, today of Buddha's presence, I take the life of awakening for the benefit of all sentient beings. Om Ye Dharma incarnate Buddhas. Your utterance or expression is a question of wisdom, which is humble and seasoned in the nature of space. It is altogether direction of self-realized wisdom. You know the Buddhas of the three times like your obeisance. The Guru is the Buddha, the Guru is the Dharma, likewise the Guru is the Sangha. The Guru is the source of everything wholesome. I go for refuge in the Guru. But the sound of the vibrant drum of Dharma, please liberate all beings of miseries. I beseech you to kindly remain your teachings until that expense completed to the aeons. A Buddha does not question negative beings. Buddha has removed their miseries by his hands. By teaching the truth of such that the beings are liberated. Before the hands I beseech the Buddhas of all directions to shine the light of Dharma for all the beings to know. If you attach to this life, you are not a spiritual practitioner. If you attach to society, you have no renunciation. If you attach to your own self-interest, you have no bodhisattva. If you are grasping, you will not have a view. Okay, Half Sutra Mantra, which is on page 31, Half Sutra Mantra. If you turn to page 4 of the book, The Blaze of Damdul Bodhisattva, page 4, in the second last stanza, it says that the one who has transformed into the love guide, motivated by altruism, independent sentient beings, a teacher, the Sugata, and the protector, we have expressions. Okay, I remember His Holiness the Dalai Lama oftentimes citing these two lines in Tibetan, Semon Pivatola, Penship of Timbadeshi, Toba Chancellor. This is the Tibetan version you will see here. His Holiness so oftentimes cites this and then seeks inspiration from this and encourages others, inspires others and to engage in this path, the way, the principle or path. And if you just have if we reflect on our lives, on the lives of your parents, of your relatives, of your near dear ones, and so forth, we see that say when we were young, we are busy with our studies, and after that, busy with the jobs, and then busy with looking after your children, then busy looking after then the grandchildren, and your life is finished. Right? Okay, this is what life is. And if you really think that, is this the meaning of life? Is this the life? Then what Charles Darwin said about what life is, what for the humanity, and it's just to continue the species, right? Continue the species. If this is life, then what is the use of the brilliant mind that we have? What is the use of brilliant mind? It's just continue the species, even the animals do that. Even the cats, dogs, even the mosquitoes, they do that. Continue the species. We have a brilliant mind. And what Charles Darwin failed to address is what mind is. Of course, he was trying to explain what mind is on a very cross level, on the basis of the brain. He talks about the continuation, the evolutionary theory, and so forth. Is on the basis of just a physical body. A physical body, of course, our physical body that we got, we inherit from parents, and parents from great parents. You go like this. We see that finally we inherited this body from the apes, and we go further, reptiles, go further. Finally, the unicellular organisms. So that's full stop. That is what Charles Darwin. And Charles Darwin gave to the physicist. This is how the universe evolved, not just the human beings, not just the organisms involved, how the universe evolved. Then physicists will go till the point of the Big Bang. Right? So the point is that what we see is that the life, as how it is interpreted by Charles Darwin, is very crude. It's crude. We have a brilliant mind, and what the Buddha, on the other hand, 2,500 years ago, what the Buddha taught was he included the body plus the mind. Not only the body, but also the mind. So that makes it very complete and full. So in terms of the body, we can go back to the unicellular organism, but in terms of mind, it's not from somewhere else. It is each one of us. We inherited this mind from a past life, not from your parents, from past life. And the past life, we go back, the former life. Like this, we keep going, we go ad infinitum, beginningless. Okay, so the question arises, how do we know there is a mind which came from the past life? Right? This is a huge question, and it requires extensive study on its own separately. So this is what is separate. And the more you understand emptiness is going to be explained by Bodhisattva Shantideva, chapter 9, and of course detailed by the great Bodhisattva Acharya Chandrakirti in his text Mahayana. And then we go back to Arya Nagarjuna's Buddha Madhyamika, and finally we go back to the Buddha Shakyamuni Sutras, Prajnaparamita Sutras. So there, from this we will come to realize that the concept of dependent origination. With the concept of dependent origination, then how to reconcile or how to see to the efficacy of the law of dependent origination. How the mind plays a very important role, how there's a mind existing as separate from the brain, all these things come into being. The clearer you understand the concept of dependent origination. Okay, with this, the point that I'm trying to share with us here is that what's the meaning of life? This question. What's the meaning of life? For that matter, what we need to keep in mind is that it's so important Just, let's say, for the time being, forget about the religiosity, right? Just imagine that we start from a very clean slate, that we have no belief. Imagine that you are day one born on this earth. Day one, you have no religion. You have no philosophy. So let us start from there. And so day one you're born, let us start with a very beautiful beginning to make sure that the life ahead becomes meaningful. For that matter, we need to have a blueprint. What kind of blueprint? The blueprint should be designed on the basis of the two premises. The first one, you should be kind to yourself. In other words, I should be kind to myself. One. Number two, I should be wisely kind to myself. These 2 points, right? So just see if we can operate our life on the basis of these 2 premises. I should be kind to myself, and I should be wisely kind to myself. 2 things, right? And then on that basis, you embrace religion, you embrace, you embrace anything you like. You embrace science, sociology, you embrace family, you embrace the Choe something, you embrace whatever you like, you can embrace that. Right? The point is, don't miss the 2 points. Be kind to yourself and be wisely kind to yourself. Just work on the basis. If these 2 things are happening with you, you are really extracting a meaning out of life. You're finding meaning out of life. And closer we turn towards death, instead of regret, there's a tremendous sense of fulfillment and accomplishment, right? That I have really lived. I lived with a purpose of my life. Okay, the next question. What exactly do you mean by the two premises? The first, be kind to yourself. What do you mean by kind to yourself? Kind to yourself means give yourself what you are seeking. Discount those things which you shun. What do you want? I want happiness. Give yourself happiness. What you don't want? I don't want miseries. Discount miseries. Right? So this is your job. Be kind to yourself. This meaning. Don't start from, oh, there's a Buddha there, there's a God there, there's a river there, there's karma there. Don't start from there. Start from, give yourself happiness. Give yourself freedom from suffering. This is how the first line. The second line says, be wisely kind to yourself, which means that whatever journey, whatever undertaking that you go through, that must be a means to actually give rise to happiness, right? In many cases, with the intention to acquire happiness, with the intention to shun miseries, we delve in activities, we engage in deeds, actions, so forth, and actually they bring miseries, which means we have been unwisely kind to ourselves. So we should be wisely kind to ourselves, meaning that whatever we do, it should actually give rise to happiness. It should actually take you away from suffering. This is what we should be doing. The next question. How can we do that? How can we decide what action actually helps me to acquire happiness? What actions actually help me to get into miseries? This is the next question. Right? Okay, this is how if we pursue a life like this, we see that our life is full of joy, full of meaning. It's amazing, right? Okay, so with this, the question is, what actions, embracing which will give rise to happiness? What actions, embracing which will give rise to miseries? Right? Which I should shun? And what actions to embrace which give rise to happiness? This question. Okay, for that, let us not forget the example of the sound of a clap. The sound of a clap, don't forget this. This sound of a clap is analogous to the miseries which we go through. And this sound of a clap should necessarily come into being by the combination of the 2 hands. Right? One hand symbolizing external factors, and the other hand symbolizing internal factors. But the two factors join, invariably the sound of the miseries arise. We can't do anything. When the external factors and the internal factors come together, sound of the miseries invariably arise. We can't do anything. Right? Now the point is, either you remove the external factor, or you remove the internal factor, or you remove both, so that the sound of misery stops. Right? Okay. Now, as we said this morning, that finally, say, if somebody says, right, say, with the same action, somebody says, what are you doing here? Right? What are you doing here? If it is somebody who you dislike, that person says it, and the next moment you're very affectionate, somebody who you really love and feel close to, that person says, hey, what are you doing? Right? The two people, they are saying the same thing, but the reaction is very different. Right? Your neighbor who's a little, say, unkind towards you, you have a conflict with the person, says, what are you doing? What's your response? What's your problem? Right? This is not your business. Right? Whereas if that the same thing is coming from someone who has been so loving, caring, affectionate towards you, right? Always thinking about you, right? Thinking about your well-being, so forth. And then you do not meet the person, you do not meet like your mother, dad, your brother, sister, whatever. You do not meet the person for the last 10 years. Suddenly say, hey, what are you doing? Wow, what a joy, right? So the same word coming, but one gives such irritation, agitation there, and the other gives such a joy in you. So the words are same. So now, if the words are same, if one gives joy, the other should equally give you joy. But it's not the case, which means that the joy is not coming from the words, it's coming from inside. The joy is inside. So where you're thinking, one thinking retrieves unpleasant feeling, another way of thinking retrieves joy in you. So this joy is actually within you. And how much joy we have? We have infinite joys. We have infinite joy here. But it all remain dominant. Dominant, not coming out. Okay. If it is there, what stops? What stops? What obscures this joy, this question? So like a gold mixed with the soil. When mixed with the soil, you take it from the gold mine, gold ore, the gold ore is there, and what is this? Gold. No, this is not gold. This is garbage. But in the eyes of the gold experts, it's not garbage. There's a gold there. And how does the experts prove that there's gold there? Right? They remove the dirt. As the dirt is removed more and more, then the gold inside will start to glow. Right? And it's removed more and more, then it starts to glow more and more. So now we speak about the gold. What? The purity of the gold, right? The gold, the price depends on the purity of the gold. So the more you purify that, the more it glows. So likewise, the joy is within us, but that is mixed with the soil of the mental dirts. So as we remove the dirts more and more, the gold inside us will start to glow. That gold is already within us. It doesn't matter whether you're Buddhists, Christians, Hindus, Muslims, Jains, Jews, non-believers. It doesn't matter. Everyone has this gold, like the ultimate treasure happens within each one of us. Every one of us has it. Right? So what is the spirituality? It is a journey. It is a system which takes you to, which makes you undertake a journey of retrieving this gold out, so that you are forever happy. You are never being affected with external factors. Okay. With this mind, the pointers say, if this perfect the treasure happens within you, then the question arises, why is not visible? Why I'm always having problem? Right? Why this problem to me?
why it happens to me, right? The cancer, why it happens to me. Say the disaster, say the robbery, the breaking your house happens. Why it happens to me? Why this to me? Why this to me? So which means it's as well like the treasure is not within us. In actuality, the treasure within each one of us is a fact. However dirty the water is, don't forget that the true nature of the water is never dirty. It is so pure, right? Say the dirty water, subjecting the water to the reverse osmosis and chemical elements so forth, all the dirt will subside, remove. The water becomes so clean. This clean water came from where? It did not come from anywhere. It's right there within the dirty water. So find the true nature of the water. However dirty the water is, the true nature of the water is never dirty. Just remove the dirt and the true nature of the water will become manifest. Right? So therefore, our mind is like, however dirty our mind is like this dirty water. Deep inside, the true nature of mind is never dirty. So this is the conviction that we must gain. Right? With this conviction, we will never hate ourselves. Under any situation, we will never hate ourselves because this self is so precious. This self is so important. Finally, this self is going to become Buddha for the benefit of all sentient beings. Right? So therefore, this self is so precious. Now, if this self is so precious, if there is a treasure within me, why is it not visible? Because it is obscured by the defilements. The dirty water, if the true nature of the water is very clean, why it is not visible as clean? It's because of the dirts, adventitious stains, the dirts. So, the Acharya Dharmakirti, he said in Pramanavartika that while the true nature of the mind is clear light, metal stains are adventitious. While the true nature of the mind is clear light, the metal stains are adventitious. Meaning adventitious. Adventitious meaning more like temporary, not the intrinsic nature. While the true nature of the mind is clear light, the metal stains are adventitious. Okay, if this is the reality, amazing, what a good news, amazing. Then I can separate, I can remove the metal stains and the true nature be made to become manifest. Okay, the next question. How can I remove the metal stains? How can I remove the metal stains, right? This question is one hand. We have this question. And the other side we are talking about the sound of a clam. Sound of a clam, right? Sound of a clam resembling the unwanted miseries that we go through. On the one hand symbolizing external factors, other hand the symbolizing internal factors. Both are responsible, right? Oftentimes people go to the extreme of saying that if somebody has a problem, or it's just a mentally created problem, it's just self-made, it's your lack of thinking properly. It's not the case. Both hands are involved. It's not just a metal plus external. Both are there, right? People don't understand this. So either people say that what is metal? It's just a stupid thing, it's physical. And some go to the other extreme, saying it's purely metal, right? But Paul, everything's just metal. Sick, you're not actually sick. This is what you think, right? This is again one extreme. Both are there. Both are yet. Practically speaking, the thing is, if you want to stop the sound, what should you do? If you want to stop the sound, what should you do? Either you remove right hand or left hand or both hands. You're getting it? So the sensible thing is instead of getting rid of both hands, just get rid of one hand, right? Get rid of one hand and the sound stops. Of the two, what do we do? Okay, going to Delhi, right? Oh, now in March, June, I will go to Delhi. Oh no, why no? It's very hot. We never say that my body is so weak. We say the weather is hot there. We blame outside, right? Oh, Delhi, no, there's a pollution there. We never say that my body is weak. which cannot bear this pollution. We never blame inside, we always blame outside, right? We always blame outside. So now the point is that if you are given a choice, if the ordinary people, I don't know about Choe members, they are more philosophy, right? Say the ordinary people, if you say, right, if we were given a choice to get into external factors and internal factors, people would just jump to say the external factors. Okay, good, it's fine. If you can get into the external factors, finally you should be happy. Right? It's not that external factors are no, yes, this is not the issue. The issue is that you should be happy. The point is that you should be happy, right? Practically, what makes you happy, do that. If you get rid of the external factors, you become the maximum happiness, you get the Buddha nature come out fully. Do it, go for it. But external factors, to what extent can you remove the external factors? This is the question, right? Practically speaking, for your own goodness, to be wisely kind to yourself, look if you can get rid of the external factors completely, right? Say if you're by yourself, what do you say? I'm lonely. If you're with other people, what do you say? I have no privacy, right? So with external factors, both are problem for you. So if you get into one thing, the other one will come. So therefore, getting into external factors completely is just unimaginable. It's not true. It will never materialize, to be very honest. Right? So of the two hands, getting into the external factors, number one, there's innumerable external factors in the air. Right? And your lifespan is too short to think of getting into all the external factors. One. Number two, those external factors which are supposed to be conducive, when you actually meet them, again you are not happy. Right? Again there's a problem with that. If you don't have a house, you need a house. If you have a house, the maintenance problem. Right? And if you have a small house, there's a problem. If you have a big house, again there's a problem. If you don't have a maid, there's a problem. If you have a maid, there's a problem. Right? Externally, if you think of getting external factors completely, is impossible, right? So therefore, the wisest thing to do is, right, of the two hands, instead of thinking of getting rid of the external factors, think of getting rid of the internal factors. Once the internal factors are going to reach off, external factors, however numerous, however forceful, sound will not arise, right? Very forceful, sound stops. For you, whether there's an external factor, there's no external factor, it doesn't matter. Misery should stop. That's what you're looking for. This is our life. Day one we are born, right? We cried for the mother's milk. We do not cry that, we do not say that there's a pollution in the air, right? There's some other religious people are there, fanatics are there. We don't say anything. We just cry for the mother's milk, right? Our job is looking for happiness. Our job is to shun the miseries. If these two things happen, by any means, go for it. This is the point. So, by thinking of getting to the, just acquiring wealth, thinking that wealth will give you ultimate. If it really gives you happiness, ultimate happiness, go for it. It's fine. There's nothing wrong with it. And right, and chasing after spirituality, right? Chasing after spirituality, and then finding, oh, I received this number of empowerments, I received this number of teachings. If you want to build a list of your CV, of the spirituality, and if it gives us happiness, go for it. There's nothing wrong with it. Right? Whereas in actuality, these two will never give rise to happiness. This is the point. To some extent, it will give rise to happiness, but the ultimate happiness, you have the potential. You are underestimating your own potential. The point is, be wise, be wisely kind to yourself. Do things which will actually give you rise to maximum happiness and cut your miseries to zero. So how do you do that? Okay, out of the two hands, internal factor. Just think of internal. Thus far, since time immemorial till now, we have been thinking about external factors, and we never succeeded. We never succeeded. Proof is that we are still in samsara. This is proof. Right? Now why don't we revolutionize that thinking? Right? Look for an alternative way. Revolutionize thinking. Instead of thinking of getting to the external factors, see if we can do something with the other hand, getting to the internal factors. Okay. So the internal factors, yes, that's interesting. That seems more in line with what we spoke about, the Buddha nature. Buddha nature. Buddha doesn't mean Buddhism. Right? Buddha means the fully awakened one. The fully awakened one. What do you mean by fully awakened one? Say we're in a dream. We're going through a nightmare. Right? We're going through a nightmare and there's so much of fear because of the ghost chasing you. And the ghost chasing you, you're running, you fall, and the ghost is just about to grab at you. So when that happens, you're just really going through nightmare. So if you don't want to have this fear, what should we do? Wake up. Wake up. Right? So therefore the Buddha is referred to as the fully awakened one. So when we say the fully awakened one, the Buddha, right? People instantly attach this with Buddhism. That is why we're going wrong. Buddha means the fully awakened one. Anyone who's fully awakened from the darkness of the ignorance, you are entitled as a Buddha, the awakened one. Right? Okay, so here, say the fear which we go through in the dream. How to bring an end to this? Wake up. Wake up from this sleep of ignorance. Right? So what is the difference between waking up and the fear dissolves? And in a dream, so much of fear. What's the difference? Anyone? What's the difference? In the dream, you have so much of fear. Why the fear arises? In waking up, the fear dissolves. Why the fear dissolves? Tell me, what's that difference? Anyone?
When you wake up, it's forever. But you lost the fear.
So when you wake up, why the fear dissolves is my question. Yes,
When we wake up, we believe when we are sleeping and we are dreaming, we think that is reality. But when we wake up, we realize it's just illusion and it's not reality.
Anitaji?
You know it was an illusion.
Wonderful. So the point is that in the dream, you see the dream as real. This is ignorance or this is a valid mind? Ignorance. So with this ignorance, the fear invariably arises. The moment you get rid of this fear by knowing the reality, the dream goes, it's empty of being real. Fear dissolves. Right? So the problem, the fear which we don't like, this fear in the dream is caused by the ignorance. And this ignorance is where? In the dream or inside you? Inside yourself. So this is mental dirt. This is the internal factor. Ignorance. That ignorance within us. That is the internal factor which is attracting miseries, fears. One. And then other one. Okay, let's say that finally, what would be the ideal situation when you have extracted, when you have given yourself the greatest of the meaning of your life? What is the ideal situation? Ideal situation, I would say, just see whether you agree with me or not. Ideal situation is when you become totally fearless of anything in your life. Totally fearless of anything of life. At all places, in all places, at all times. One. Right? Even if you become now, one. If you become, okay, how many of you really want to achieve that state where you become fearless in any space and in any time? Just raise your hands. Okay, we all want to have that. And do you think that's a complete story of the meaning of life?
No.
What does he say?
Compassion. Looking after others.
Enlightenment.
Why do we need enlightenment? Why do we need compassion? If you are totally free, we have to live in fear. Fear is got rid of now, in space and in time. Wherever you go, there's no fear. Wherever you are in time, there's no fear. This is your job. Who cares about others? Right? This is what you've achieved. So what is missing now? Tell me. Yeah, finally, even the wisdom is a means, you know. Wisdom is to acquire, to achieve this the fearlessness. You have achieved that, right? You have crossed the river. Why do we need the boat anymore now? You discard the boat. Wisdom is the means to get there. You already got it. So why do you have to carry the boat with you, right? Okay, tell me, what is missing? Why do we need bodhicitta? You already reached that level. You know, you already reached the level of your own fearlessness, right? This is what we're seeking. What's missing?
But there are so many people who are suffering.
What is
We have to
there?
help them also be fearless.
No, that's nice. But you know,
Does fearless make one happy?
Yeah.
the point is, okay, Rahim said one, that is the point, right? Okay, let us be very practical. Oftentimes, people go into, say, altruism. People go into compassion. People go into kindness, so forth, without a ground. If the ground is missing, then, say, compassion works to some extent. And then at one point, it goes into burnout cases. It turns into burnout cases, right? For example, the mother will never feel burnout to take care of the child. But the nurse will easily feel burnout taking care of the same child. The mother, why the mother doesn't feel the burnout? The mother is not getting even a penny. The nurse is getting lots of money out of serving, but she easily gets burnout. But the mother doesn't get anything back, yet she doesn't feel the burnout. Doing the same thing. Why? Because of this love and affection. You're getting it? Okay, so what Rahim said makes sense. I'll tell you. I'll give you one analogy, and you see, right? These are the things that we need to think more. Okay, let's say that you are a mediocre professor in physics. You are a mediocre professor in physics, right? And then your vice chancellor said that, hey, tomorrow you have to give a lecture to, say, 1,000 PhD students from international universities internationally. They will come and you have to give a lecture there. Would you be, wow, very exciting or nervous?
Nervous.
Why nervous? Because among you are not a high-level professor. Amongst these 1,000 PhD students from international universities, they are the students who will eventually become Nobel laureate in physics. Right? So they will ask you questions, when they challenge you questions, it's very nervous. You feel very nervous. You get it? You can understand it? Imagine you are Albert Einstein. Imagine you are Albert Einstein and you vice chancellor comes to tell you, tomorrow you have to give a lecture. Okay, fine. For him, he's not even nervous. Okay, who are these? Right? These are my students. Right? I'm the genius. I'm a genius. Who cares? I'm not at all worried about them asking any question will come. This is his confidence. So he is fearless. But does it mean that he's really very happy? But simply because of fearless, does it mean that he can be very upset all the time? He can be very unhappy all the time. Oh, geez. You even don't know what is MC square, right? You don't know something, and then he's very upset, right? There's no fear in him, but he's not happy. You're getting it? Whereas, what do you want? Do you want the fearlessness? Full stop. Fearlessness and infinite happiness, both. What do you want? What do you want? Fearlessness plus infinite happiness. This is what we all seeking. We could not identify what we are seeking, which means that we are not being wisely kind to ourselves. You're getting it? Now with this, if you achieve the maximum fearlessness, the greatest of the fearlessness, plus the infinite happiness, this is the ideal meaning of your life. You're getting it? Okay, the question is, how can I achieve this fearlessness, total fearlessness, and how can I achieve the infinite happiness? You're getting it? These two things. Tell me, say, okay, is there anyone who likes to share with all of us here as to one moment in your life where you are so genuinely happy, the most memorable happiness in your life, one most memorable happiness, like genuinely happy. Okay, anyone who likes to share your experience? Anyone, very quick.
You taught me a mantra that Ge Dharma Hetu Prabha.
Yes.
And you said when you find an animal that is very sick or suffering, that you stroke him and that you will tell this mantra to him, that he can cure well. And he may recover well,
Yeah.
and he may just pass on very peacefully.
Yeah.
And this has happened to me.
Wonderful.
So I was really happy because then I saw, the power of this mantra.
Wonderful. So you felt this joy, incredible happiness and the joy when you feel the love and affection towards the dying animal as you recite the mantra and stroking, caressing the animal. The tremendous feeling of joy, love and affection arose in you. So that is one thing. Amazing. Very good. Anyone else? Anyone else? No?
The day I held my baby in my hand and he smiled or he looked at me, and that was the most happy moment.
Okay, the day one when the Sayadaw Anita was holding her baby. In fact, in Dehradun, just 4 days ago, similar incident was shared by, I think, where is he from? I'm not too sure. One gentleman from the West. He shared one experience so beautiful like what Dr. Anita is sharing here. The greatest moment of joy and happiness, genuine joy and happiness in him came when he first touched the hand of his one-day-old daughter. One-day-old daughter, he touched the hand and he would feel like a magical feeling of, incredible peace, joy and happiness. Beautiful. Okay, so there I took that as an example. Okay, so tell me, why this gentleman, why Dr. Anita, right, felt this incredible joy when you touched that one-day-old child of yours? Because love and affection flows, unconditional love and affection flows. When that happens, experience is the experience of joy, experience of happiness is unparalleled, is unimaginable, is so beautiful. Okay, in my case, right? In my case, the feeling that I like to share with you, the most memorable day, the most memorable event in my life, so happy was when I was age 3 or 4. When I was age 3 or 4, I could still remember that. And of course, some of you know that I lost my mother when I was 5. So, till 5, I was in that very remote village where no facilities, house, just very simple house, and the men, they all, I don't know what kind of business they are doing. And the mothers, they were all at home taking care of the children. That's it, finished. And my mother was one of them. And then 3 of us, the 3 siblings, me, my brother, and my sister. And I was the youngest. And I was 3, my brother maybe 4, my sister maybe like 6 or 7. And the mother did not have anything else to do. Right? And then she was cuddling all the 3 children around in her laps, and then singing a song. So, I lost my mother at 5, then I'll say like 6, 7, 8, for 3 years, then we were all admitted, 3 of us, 3 children were admitted in TC school in Dharamsala. And for 3 years, this poor child in a boarding school, poor young boy, had just forgotten the experience with the mother. Then that year, when I was like 7 or 8, there was an inter-class song competition. And my school, the inter-class Tibetan song competition. And the Tibetan teacher, the class Tibetan teacher, he taught a song. And the song was the same song which my mother used to sing when I was 3 or 4. And then she cut us. And just hearing this, and with a gap of like 3 years for a young child, 3 years is a huge expanse of time gap. And suddenly, my mind was just taken back in the mother's lap. And I lost my mother. And it was so nostalgic. There's so much of sort of pain going in this young boy's mind. At the same time, feeling of joy, incredible joy, remember the mother's love and affection. That was the greatest moment. That was the greatest moment. Because this young boy did not have any responsibility, right? Did not have to take whatever, any responsibility. There's this one person who was making sure that no totally illiterate, did not have any resources, even good food, something nice thing to give to child, she did not have anything. But within her the limited capacity, whatever she has, she's ready to give that to this child. So this was amount of love that this young child received, and that was the greatest moment. So in simple terms, the greatest happiness which we're seeking, which Rashmi is asking, how do you acquire this greatest happiness? This is when you get the maximum love and affection. When there's a total flow of your mind, love and affection. When that happens, that is the most happy moment. Okay, so now the two things, that while we seek total state of fearlessness, and we seek maximum happiness. You getting it? Tell me, if you are to be kind towards yourself, what should you be doing? You should give yourself the fearlessness, and you should give yourself the maximum happiness. Don't forget it, right? Dharma, initiation, this happening, this oral transmission, right? 100, 10,000, 100,000 something prostrations. They're all good. I'm saying this, they're all good. Don't start from 10,000 prostrations, don't start from initiation. Start from 2 agendas. I should not waste my life. I should be kind to myself. I should be wisely kind to myself. You're getting it? Anything which makes you to accomplish these 2 agendas, that is dharma for you. That is dharma, right? Once you know this, once you gain such a conviction in this, then you will see what His Holiness is saying. His Holiness emphasizes so much on studying Nalanda masters, Nalanda, Bodhisattva, wisdom entrance, Tantara, keep it far away, wisdom entrance of Bodhisattva. What His Holiness always highest authority of Buddhism, what He says will make sense to us. Getting it? Okay, finally, tell me. From this what we've learned, is we've learned 2 things. One is that each one of us, no matter who you are, whether you're a girl or a boy, whether you are young or old, whether you are Indian or non-Indian, whether you are, say, educated, uneducated, rich, poor, it doesn't matter. Whether you're Buddhist, non-Buddhist, whether you're believer or non-believer, everyone has the ultimate source of happiness with yourself. Don't forget it. Point number 1. If it is there within me, anything which makes to uncover this, any system, any practice which makes to uncover, disclose this treasure, that is the dharma, spirituality for you. Number 2. Right? If this is the case, then the next question is, why this Buddha nature, the beautiful Buddha nature, doesn't become manifest? Why not? Why it doesn't manifest? Why is it not visible? Because it is obscured by the dirts. You're getting it? The dirts. And the dirts, generally speaking, we see that the dirts, how can I know what dirts are there? How can we know what dirts are there? Right? This is a question. Very simple. What are you seeking? You are seeking fearlessness. Right? Do you have the fearlessness now? No. So the lack of fearlessness is the dirt. Lack of fearlessness is the dirt. One. And what do you want? You want happiness. Maximum happiness. Do you have the maximum happiness? No. Lack of maximum happiness is the dirt. These are the two dirts. You're getting it? Okay, now to be very precise, this fearlessness, what do you mean by the dirt of the fearlessness? No, dirt of the lack of fearlessness. What do you mean by that? Very simple. This fearlessness in the dream. In the dream, what attracts the fear?
Ignorance.
Ignorance. Ignorance is the dirt. Right? And then, the maximum happiness is when you experience the maximum love and affection. What is the opposite of the maximum love and affection? Hatred. What makes you to hate others? Selfishness. You're getting it? Selfishness is the one which disrupts the maximum happiness. And the ignorance is the one which disrupts the fearlessness. So the ignorance and the selfishness, these are the two demons, the two stains within the mind. You remove these two stains, you achieve the greatest of fearlessness, and you achieve the maximum happiness. You're getting it? So this is our job. This being the job, the next question is how to get rid of ignorance and how to get rid of the selfishness. You're getting it? Okay. One, how to get rid of the ignorance. How to get rid of the ignorance. Ignorance is like darkness. In dark, you don't see the reality. You don't see around you. With ignorance, you don't see the reality. Ignorance, by the very definition, is a mental state which distorts the reality, which blurs you from having a vision of the reality. So this is ignorance. So, if that is ignorance, which is like darkness, how to get rid of the ignorance? See how to get rid of darkness. Darkness can be eliminated only by introducing the light. Likewise, ignorance can be eliminated only by introducing the light of the wisdom. This is the only way. What wisdom? The wisdom to see the emptiness of all phenomena. The wisdom to see the reality of all phenomena. Right? What is the reality? Reality is that everything is like dream. Everything is coming from this subject. Everything is empty from the object. This is reality. Right? This is what we have to discover. So this chapter, chapter 9, which we're going to study for the next 4 days, is on this subject. How to get rid of this ignorance so that your fears will come to an end. One. Number two. What is the second? What stops you from achieving the maximum happiness? The selfishness, self-centered attitude. How to get rid of this self-centered attitude? By introducing the counterforce. What is the counterforce which stops the self-centered attitude? Arya mind. And what is the greatest of the Arya mind? Which is the most powerful Arya mind? The Bodhisattva, altruistic mind of Bodhisattva. So therefore, your journey is to give you the maximum happiness and give you the greatest meaning of life. What is the greatest meaning of life? To give yourself the greatest of the fearlessness and to give yourself the greatest of the happiness. And what gives you the greatest of happiness? The next question is, okay, now it becomes very clear. Say, what do you mean by I should be kind to myself? Which means I should give you myself the maximum fearlessness and the maximum happiness. This is the meaning of the first line. The second line, I should be wisely kind towards myself. I should be wisely kind to myself. What do you mean by wisely kind towards myself? Do embrace the causes which will give rise to fearlessness and embrace the causes which will give rise to maximum happiness. What is the cause of the maximum fearlessness? The wisdom. What is the wisdom of emptiness? What is the cause of maximum happiness? Bodhicitta. So therefore, embracing the wisdom of emptiness, embracing bodhicitta, this is the meaning of be wisely kind to yourself. If that happens, if you're in this direction, you are in a dharma. Even if you are not getting initiation, empowerment, and so forth, don't worry. Even if you are not Himalaya, don't worry. you are actually in the greatest of Himalaya, right? Okay, this is what we need to know. If we know this, then you will feel such a joy, right? Okay, now I know how to extract greatest meaning, how to give a greatest meaning to my own life. Okay, so with this, the point is that, okay, now my job is what? What do you mean by spirituality? Particularly in the context of Buddhism, what do you mean by spirituality, right? Is to look for the wisdom of emptiness, to acquire the maximum fearlessness, to look for the unconditional love of Bodhisattva, to acquire the maximum happiness. So this is my job, this is my spirituality, this is my power. Okay. Now, what we do is that how to embrace this unconditional love of the Bodhisattva, so that on the last day, as the indication, as auspicious indication of the comprehensiveness of what we're doing, we will do that a little bit in the last session, and then otherwise we will dedicate our time on the chapter 9, the wisdom to awaken, to wake up from this sleep of ignorance, to cultivate this wisdom. So that we will do on the basis of the chapter 9 of Buddhist Guided Bodhisattva. And of course, keep in mind that this is a very technical test. And thus far, so far it's easy? Easy? Okay, when you go through the text, don't expect that it's going to be that easy. So, but don't panic also. No need to panic, right? The point is, just pay attention. That is what is required, right? Okay. Okay, now, with this, what I'd like to share with you here is that I have to give you a little bit of, yes, okay, what I'd like to give a little bit of intro of what emptiness is, and then in the process as we go along the text, we will invariably have to go through the explanations of what emptiness is, right? Okay, so one thing that we need to know is what is known as meditative equipoise. Meditative equipoise of the wisdom of emptiness. Meditative equipoise of the wisdom of emptiness. Because right from the beginning of this text, chapter 9, we will talk about the emptiness in the context of the meditative equipoise of the wisdom of emptiness. Meditative equipoise of emptiness. Okay. Okay. Okay, let's see. What is in my right hand? Flower. What is in my left hand? Nothing. Okay, just imagine a flower, blue flower. What is in my right hand? Red flower. What is in my left hand? Imagine a blue flower. Tell me, which of the two is closer to, which of the two resembles dream? Imagine a blue flower resembles a dream. Tell me, in what way imagine blue flower resembles a dream?
Your imaginary is not mine, and the dream is in it.
Wonderful. Imaginary blue flower is just what a mind, subjective mind, imagines. It has nothing to do with the object. You're getting it? Dream has nothing to do with the object. It is what your dreaming, subjective dreaming mind creates. Nothing here. Whereas this is slightly different. This was slightly different, right? So this, imagine that you have never attended any teaching on emptiness in Choe or anywhere else. Imagine you are just a fresh, clean slate, right? This flower is so real in the air. Imagine blue flower is not real in the air. It's coming from a mind. Just a dream is coming from a mind. Imagine flower is also coming from a mind. You're getting it? Okay, this is so important. Now, the Buddha says, okay, tell me, if you say that, what's the problem? If you say that, oh, there's a red flower in your right hand and there's a blue flower in my left hand, what will you say? If I say that I have a red flower in my right hand and I have a blue flower in my left hand, what will you tell me?
No.
There is
no
no
blue
blue
flower.
Okay, you thinking that the blue flower in your left hand is wrong. Why it is wrong? If I said, no, I'm seeing it, what do you say? No, you are hallucinating. You're getting it? You are hallucinating. Why hallucinating? Because what you see and the reality, they don't tally. Why they don't tally? In reality, what you are seeing is actually coming from mind, it's not from the object. This is reality. But you see that as coming from the object. You're getting it? Okay, now look at this flower. How do you see? Don't think that you're philosophers. Tell me. How do you see this flower? This flower as from the object or from like the imaginary blue flower? Tell me. From the object, right? This is hallucination. You're getting it? You told me that I hallucinate when I see that the imaginary blue flower is the real flower. You said that I'm hallucinating. Now we are all hallucinating. You see this flower as object real. This is hallucination. Why? Because how you see and reality this flower, these two do not tally. Right? The reality of this flower is that this also exists from a mind, subject and mind. Yet you see this as not from the subject, but from the object. This is hallucination. You getting it? Okay. Now, the point is, this is so important because we have only 3 days, right? Okay. In fact, this is one. The fact that, okay, by the way, okay, let's say, okay, the fact that we are all together here to study this text, Bodhisattva Shantideva's Guided Bodhisattva Reply, Chapter 9, Wisdom Chapter, which is the most important one, right? And imagine how many people are there on this earth today. 7 billion human beings, don't forget it. And out of 7 billion human beings, how many you think are studying the Bodhisattva Shantideva's got the Guided Bodhisattva Reply, Chapter 9? How many? I would say not more than 1,000. 1,000? Lucky. Now even 1,000 is amazing. 1,000 is like 0.00001 of the human population. Right? So from that point of view, we are so lucky, all of us. Very lucky. Right? Because this concept alone will take us to the state of fearlessness. And we have to live in fear, otherwise endlessly. Right? Okay, recently, just a little bit of digression. Recently, there's one girl. Okay, there's one lady from one country. I'm not going to mention the name. Otherwise, if that girl listens to this recording, we'll go into nightmare. Okay, so this girl came to see me. And then asked me so many questions about emptiness and so forth. Emptiness of the mind, emptiness of pain, and so forth. How to dissolve the pain. And I said, if you're really interested in this, you have to study Acharya Chandrakirti's Madhyamika Avatar, Entry in the Middle Way. And she knows what this text is like. It's a heavy text. She said, Are you means? Oh, how tiring. I'm just doing this. Right? Then I told her, okay, you choose between 2 ayos. 1 ayo for the whole life. 1 ayo for 2 years. 2-year ayo and whole life ayo, you choose. Right? If you are ayo for 2 years or 2 years after study ayo, then you are in a way saying that I'm ready to go for the whole life ayo. Right? That's up to you. No whole life. Next many lifetimes. Right? Then you choose. I told her. Then she said, oh, that's true. I should rather go for the 2 years ayo. Yeah. Okay. So the point is that we are all very lucky. Very fortunate, right? Very fortunate. Because this is what I've seen in my own life. I've seen in one line. How much merit one requires to be actually meeting with this teaching on the wisdom of emptiness. Some people, they plan for months and months and months and months to attend such teachings. The last minute, they already bought the flight ticket and then booked the reservation, booking, all these things done. The last minute, something bad happens and have to cancel everything, right? The eagerness, enthusiasm is just boundless, yet tragedies befall on the last day. They could not attend. There are such things happen. This is what I've seen with my own eyes, in my own life. So therefore, to meet with such wisdom of emptiness, this is not easy. The fact that we met with this, we are all very lucky. Okay, let's not forget this. Okay, with this, so what I was talking about is the meditative equipoise of emptiness, right? Okay, so let's say that what's in my hand?
Flower.
Yes, we will all say flower. You're getting it? Don't forget it. Don't forget it. We all say that there's a flower in the air, right? Now, how can we evaluate that there's a flower in my hand? I can see that. You getting it? I can see that. Okay. Let's say this is very important. Let's say group A. Okay. Rashmi, Kapisina, Philip. Okay, let's say this group. This is group group A. Okay, then Sudarshanaji, and then Nalanda Nagarjuna, Dr. Anandaji, the narrator, and this group B, right? Group A, Group B. Okay, let's see. Group A, you are looking at this through your naked eyes. Group B, you are looking at through your electromicroscope, right? We judge the electromicroscope just on day one, because we have only 3 days. Actually, it has to be done in very simple, so it has to be taken not to electron microscope directly, but now we have no choice, right? In fact, even to have this class, I'm feeling so grateful to Shantideva. She made a very strong request, right? And then yesterday already did the booking for Madhyamaka Avatar class. Right?
Thank you.
Okay, on the card.
10-day retreat, 10-15 days.
yeah. So the point is what I'm saying is that, okay, group A, you're looking at through your naked eyes. Group B, you're looking at through your electron microscope. Tell me, group A, what are you seeing?
Now.
Now, group B, what are you seeing? Okay. So Jesse already, knows electron microscope. Okay, electrons, protons, neutrons, let's say atoms. To make it uniform. Yeah? That's millions of atoms. What are you seeing flower? Flower disappears. Say, from distance you will see the forest. Inside the forest you will see the individual trees, not the forest. You getting it? Likewise, group A you're looking at through the electron microscope. No. Naked eyes you are seeing flower. Group B you are seeing the millions of atoms. And what about the flower? No flower. Flower's empty. Right? Okay. Say, which of the two perceptions is correct? Tell me. How come they both are correct? One says there's a flower, one says there's no flower. How come that both are correct? Tell me.
One is conventional and one is artificial.
Yes, question.
From the naked eye, we are correct because we see the flowers. From the microscope, they are correct because they see the.
Okay, so Rashmi in a way is saying that it is not object per se, it's a perception. Perception, what perception will you resort to? you resort to the naked eyes as the agent of the perception. Because it is naked eye, perception is different. And one is very defined, electron microscope, perception is very defined. Right? So therefore, it is, from this we come to know that there's something to do with the perception. Something to do with perception. Not 100% from the object. You're getting it? Okay. Now tell me. If both perceptions are correct, okay, can you imagine? Now all of us, imagine that you're looking at this same object. I'm not going to say flower. Same object. Imagine that you look at this object through an electron microscope. Just imagine this. Okay, first I'll take you this, not directly in the electron microscope. Let's keep fine-tuning the electron microscope. Anyway, this is what is done by NASA company. This is what is done by NASA company on the basis of the leaf, and another did on the basis of the skin. There are a number of them, but these two things I've seen that, and both are very similar, done in a very similar way. It's very helpful for our meditation, right? Okay, say we are all looking at this through electron microscope. First, what we do is that we look at the electron microscope. You see this, the very gross one. We see the petals. Then we keep fine-tuning the electron microscope. As we keep fine-tuning this, then you will see, so say, is this the Bangalore flower? Oh, this is nice. Okay, I thought the Bangalore flower, they were all, okay, beautiful. Say there's such a tender texture here, tender texture, the color combination, the texture is amazing. Okay. Now, you subject this to electron microscope, right? You see this first, in its most natural form, you see the individual, the first petal, which is so beautiful, texture, color combination, so beautiful. You keep fine-tuning this, what you see is that this texture as the smooth will disappear. It will become rough and hairy, right? Okay, how's my hand here? Smooth, right? But when I was 7 years old, it was very amazingly, the tender, wonderful. I was so fascinated. Okay, let us stay away from that. Okay, now, it's fine, it's not too bad. You look at it through electron microscope, right? First it's nice, it's very tender, it's fine. Then slowly you fine-tune this, it becomes very hairy. It's not at all tender, right? Okay. So, then you keep fine-tuning this, then what happens? You will start seeing cracks. Actually, they are the borders between the cells, right? Then you fine-tune this, then the cell membranes become very visible. The border which divides the cells become very visible. And then through fine-tuning this, you will see the cytoplasm, the nucleus, mitochondria. Through further fine-tuning this, you will see the chromosomes. Through further fine-tuning, and the chromosomes. They are not like how they are beautifully drawn in the school, the textbooks. It just acts like this, very beautiful. No, the real chromosomes, they're very scary, like a snake, brownish color, striped, like this. Very scary, very repulsive to look at. Okay. To further fine-tuning this, even this chromosome, right, we see the DNA molecules. To further fine-tuning this, we see the atom. Even the molecules disappear. Okay, so this is how we look at the same object through electron microscope. So imagine that you're looking at the same object. I'm not saying flower, because flower is one way of seeing this object. Imagine that we all looking at this through electron microscope. Okay, just imagine this. I'll take you into this. First, the normal petal, then the hairy, as we fine-tune hairy, through fine-tuning, then the cracks. Then through further fine-tuning, the cell membranes become visible, then the nucleus becomes visible, the cytoplasm, the mitochondria, then the chromosomes inside the nucleus, chromosomes which are so repulsive, you get like snakes and tangled. Through further fine-tuning, we'll see the DNA molecules. Through further fine-tuning, atoms. Okay, stay there. You can go beyond, stay there. Okay, now tell me, what do you see? Millions of atoms. Which tell me, what do you see? Millions of atoms. Don't forget it. Right? Okay. Are you seeing a flower? No. Flower disappears. Right? If I say, if you are introduced to this world, since day one you're born on this earth, with the electron microscope in your eyes, you will never see a flower. You agree with me or not? If I tell you that I'm showing a flower, you say there's no flower. It's empty flower. You're getting it? Okay, tell me. Now, another group of people seeing this object as a flower, and you seeing there's millions of atoms, which of the two perceptions correct? Say, if right, you are looking at it through the front truth, and the other person is looking at it through the naked eyes. So which of the two perceptions is correct? Both are correct. Don't forget it. Don't forget it. Right? Okay. Okay, tell me, what am I doing? Drinking water or drinking H2O, drinking electrons, protons? All are correct. All are correct. You getting it? Don't forget it. Okay. So now with this, we see that, say for example, right? Okay, give me a glass of water, and somebody gives you this. Oh no, it's just electrons, protons. If you say like this, it's correct or not correct? Right? I asked you for water. It's just electrons, bunch of electrons, protons. Right? Okay. Then if the shopkeeper who's selling the water, if the shopkeeper has a little understanding of physics and chemistry, well, yeah, that's true. What he said is correct. Right? How can I say that what I'm giving is water? How can I say this? It's a bunch of electrons, protons. That's very true. Right? Okay. But it contradicts the conventional world. You're getting it? It contradicts the conventional world. Right? I do not ask for electrons, protons, I want just water. Right? This is a bunch of electrons, protons. It contradicts conventional. While it is true, but it contradicts conventional world. If you speak on that level, oh, this is electrons, protons. I'm doing electrons, protons. Right? Oh, we are just living in electrons, protons. Right? This body, what body? What body? Electrons, protons. What flower? Electrons, protons. Like this, then whole conventionality is dismantled. You contradict the conventionality. Yet, it is true. It is true, but it defies the conventionality. You're getting it? So therefore, if you really want to enjoy water, don't look at it in the form of electrons, protons. Right? If you really want to enjoy this water, if you really want to enjoy the flower, don't look at through electron microscope. Right? If you really want to enjoy, look at the flower, don't look at through electron microscope. You look at through your naked eyes. So we see that there are two perceptions. You getting it? Same object, there are two perceptions. One with a very close inspection, and the other from a distance. So looking at from a distance, the naked eyes is distance or the electron microscope is distance? Naked eyes perception taking place on the basis of naked eyes is more distance. That is known as the conventional analysis. Right? Same object looked at from distance, like naked eyes, is known as conventional analysis. The same object looked at from electron microscope and the more refined, the agent is known as the ultimate analysis. So what is this object? What is the object? Depends on what analysis you employ. You employ conventional analysis, you will see what? Flower. If you employ the ultimate analysis, you will see the emptiness of the flower. You getting it? You getting it? Okay, tell me, what is this object? Flower or emptiness object? Depends. Depends on what? Depends on the subject with which you look at it. You're getting what subject? How many subjects are there? Huh? 2. What are they? Conventional analysis and ultimate analysis. The same object, I'm pointing to the same object. Same object seen by the conventional analysis known as conventional truth. Same object seen by the ultimate analysis is known as the ultimate truth. And where's the ultimate truth of the flower? It's here, correct or not correct? Whereas the conventional truth of the flower is here, correct or not correct? Correct. So the both truths are with the same object. Same object displays 2 truths. You getting it? Every phenomena, it's not just the flower, every phenomena has two truths. Every phenomena has two truths. You getting it? Okay. So with this, okay, say, Rahim, where's Rahim? Where's Rahim? There. Okay, let's say, Rahim. If you employ an electron microscope, where's Rahim? Huh? You will never find him. You agree with me? You will never find him if you employ the electron. If I ask where's Rahim, you employ the electron microscope, look for Rahim, you will never find Rahim. You getting it? Okay. This is so important. This is so important. So the same object looked at from 2 different agents, ultimate analysis, conventional analysis. The same object you look at from the conventional analysis, you find the conventional truth of the object. The same object you look at from the ultimate analysis, you find the ultimate truth of the object. You're getting it? Okay. Tell me this object, in group A, group B. Group A you can through the naked eyes, group B you can through your electromagnetic. Group B, what did you find? Conventional truth or ultimate truth? What's the conventional truth of the flower?
Flower.
The flower. What you found? There's a conventional truth. Hey, group B, what are you looking at? Ultimate truth or conventional truth? Ultimate truth. What did you find? Absence of the flower. Right? Absence of the flower or the emptiness of the flower. You're getting it? You found the emptiness of the flower. Say, group B looks at it and you see the emptiness of what group A has seen. You're getting it? Group A, you have seen the flower. Group B, you see the emptiness of the flower. Okay, now look, this is very important. Before we retire for tea break, right? This is very important. What group A sees as a flower is what group B sees as emptiness of flower. What group B sees as emptiness of flower is what group A sees as flower. You got it? What group A sees as a form is what group B sees as emptiness of form. What group B sees as emptiness of form is what group A sees as a form. You getting it? Form is empty. Emptiness form. What is the third line? Form is not other than emptiness. Emptiness is not other than form. Okay. So what group A sees as flower, the form, and what group B sees as empty form, right? These are very different. No, their seen is very different, but they are the nature of the same object. It's the same object, seen different way. So what group A sees as form is what group B sees as emptiness of form. Form is emptiness. What group B sees as emptiness of a form is what group A sees as a form. Emptiness of form, right? And what are the 2 things? These 2 things are, one is I'm holding right hand the form, I'm holding the left hand the emptiness of form. No, these 2 are by no means different from each other. These 2 are the same object. Form is not different from what you are seeing as the emptiness of form. What you are seeing as emptiness of form is not different from the form that group A is seeing. Form is not empty. Form is not different from the emptiness. Emptiness is not different from the form. You getting it? This is so important. Now, if you look at what's the difference, what's the significance. If you look at through the naked eyes, you will see the form. If you look through the naked eyes, then you will see the cause-effect relationship. If you look at the ultimate analysis, you will see the emptiness of the cause and effect relationship. So by subjecting the same object to ultimate analysis, now you say, instead of this flower, I'll bring your pain. What pain do you have in your life? Again, anyone who likes to tell me one word, that one of the worst pain that you have in your life. Anyone? One of the worst pains that you have in your life. Huh?
Colic.
Okay, difficult colic.
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 Chronic illness.
C-O-L-I-C. Colic.
Colon.
It's a digestive.
Yeah, digestive system, something like that.
Doctor.
Colic.
Colic. Okay, this is the first time here. Thank you. Okay, colic. Colic pain. Right? That's the colic pain. Okay, colic pain. Okay, now let's say this is colic pain. Hey, imagine this colic pain. Right? I'm sorry, your name?
Aban.
Aban. Okay, Aban, do you like colic pain?
No.
You don't want it. Okay. Say, if you don't want it, then we subject this to colic pain. No, let's bring colic pain and subject this to this analysis. Colic pain. You all look at through the ultimate analysis. Okay, you like colic pain? Okay, group A. No, group A should look at through your, say, the ultimate analysis. Group B is it? Conventional analysis. Say, group B, what are you seeing? Colic pain. Group A, what are you seeing? Emptiness of colic pain. What happened to colic pain? No, colic pain disappears. Right? Okay, don't forget it. Now, when you apply the same object to analysis by the ultimate analysis, what you see is the colic pain disappears. The fear related to the colic pain dissolves. You getting it? Whereas look at through the conventional analysis, what do you see? You see the colic pain. Because you see colic pain, then you see, oh, colic pain is because of, this problem, these causes. You see the cause-effect relationship of the colic pain. Then you will know how to deal with this. How to deal with this? How to deal with colic pain? Colic pain, there are so many causes. One of the worst causes is to see the colic pain as objective real. When you see the colic pain as objective real, the pain manifests. Even if you have the colic problem, but if you don't see it as objective real, the pain does not come to you. Right? So what you do if you want to get rid of this cause, seeing the colic pain as objective real, you should subject the colic pain to the ultimate analysis. You getting it? Then the fear related to the colic pain dissolves. Okay, so what we do is that we say this, I want to maintain the momentum of the class. For that matter, I took another 20 minutes extra. So what we do is that we will have, okay, for time, let's take another, say, 15-20 minutes break. Today, meaning this session, we will not have group discussion. Just relax, and we say tea break, tea there. Okay, let's go for tea, 20 minutes, and then we'll come back, which means that we'll come back at, okay, let's say the 11:15 sharp. 11:15 will come.